But one of my main things is why I'm so successful is I'm in tune with knowing what my purpose is. That's why I can walk in any room, any courtroom, any business, any boardroom, and know I'm there for a reason. Because when I started working in law, they don't look like me. It's some older white man that thinks he knows everything, and I have to perform at the same level as he did. So my St. Petersburg native self, product of Pinellas High School, County Schools, graduate of Florida State University and the Florida A&M College of Law, passed the bar on the first time, just like the people that went to Harvard, Yale, Stanford, all those Ivy League schools, right? Because how many of us go into the doctor's office? How many of y'all even know where your doctor graduated from? You want to know that they can fix that problem, fix that illness, right? That's all I do as a lawyer is I fix people's problems. So whether a parent is coming to me because their kid got beat up, whether employees coming to me because they're discriminated on the job, or people at their worst, me representing families that have lost loved ones, or people that are in jail, I have to fight the powers that be, right? So on any given day, I'm an ex-athlete, so I'm already competitive as hell. But when you put God on my side, I'm gonna walk in any courtroom and you can't beat me. So, knowing your purpose is so much important in whether you're selling t-shirts, selling books, selling cakes, banana pies, drinks, waist trainers. You have to know who you are because you have to have unshakable faith. Because the tests are gonna come, right? They're gonna try you. But anytime I'm working against someone and they don't look like me, I already know I'm the hardest working person in the room because I have to work harder and longer than the other person because they think something was given to me. Ain't nobody helped me take them tests. I ain't even cheat like some of my colleagues were doing. That's probably why they didn't pass the bar on the first time. So it's so important for us to know, everybody say purpose.
Purpose.
Right? So once you know what your purpose is, then you gotta find the people. Everybody say people.
People.
All right, I'm gonna give a little business education, but your people is so important in business when you're creating your team. Dr. East, she's a therapist. I'm my third or fourth therapist. And that's not because they weren't a good fit, but because I'm in different seasons of my life. When I was a young 20-year-old trying to start, I needed a therapist for that because I was going through crazy relationship problems. Now as a 40-something entrepreneur, I'm trying to get to the next millionaire level. I have friends that are billionaires, black women, billionaires. I'm trying to know what she knows. And that's the quickest way is the right mentor, right? So you want to get a mentor, someone that's in your industry and someone that's out of your industry. Because as a lawyer, I have to be a good lawyer, but they don't teach me how to be a good business person. That's a whole different skill set running a business between being a lawyer. So you got your spiritual or your therapist advisor, right? Get your lawyer, your legal guidance, right? You gotta get somebody with the money, right? Somebody got good credit and good financial sense, right? So whether you're getting your financial advisor, or to the credit lady, or your financial advisor, your accountant, you have to have somebody that's good with the money. Because when you're an entrepreneur, I wear 1,001 hats in a day. I gotta be the builder, the architect, the cooker, the marketer, the accountant, everything. But for me to be successful and get to that next level, I have to delegate to other people that are better than what I do. So there's a book that I found in my law firm. It's called The 4-Hour Workweek, right? It's by Tim Ferriss. It basically teaches you that you can work 5 days out of the week and procrastination is gonna take me 5 days. But if I work 3 days out of the week, I'm gonna get it done in 3 days, right? So they teach you the art of DELA. Delegate, eliminate, liberate, and automate. That's going into our third principle. Everybody say purpose. Or excuse me, say purpose. Our third principle is process. Everybody say process.
Process.
Now because we're in a digital era, right? We can make money online when we sleep. 7 streams of income, sometimes you might need 10 in this economy. I'm a lawyer and I still sell t-shirts, flip houses, sell sunglasses, invest, have a financial advisor. Why? Because it's hard out here, right? But you also, somebody before me said the word consistent. I worked in the music industry. I was the first person to bring Drake on tour. That's why the Kendrick and Drake become like, that's a little personal. But even then, I tell artists, and content creators, if you put your worst piece of music or content on the internet, your worst piece is still going to generate money. Because like he said before me, it's about consistency, right? Consistency, doing something over and over and over and over and over again, right? So that's just like investing. My financial advisor told him I could retire 5 years ago. Because why? I was taking $25 and putting it up a month. You use that on compound interest, he did his job. So even if you are good on the small things, he'll take care of the bigger things, right? So when you're building your team, you want your therapist, your spiritual advisor, your lawyer to keep things and the problems together, your money person, right? But then what about you, the purpose creator, the builder? You still have to do all of those things, which is why your process is so important, right? So now that I got bigger and working on my 16th year of business, I can't even afford to answer my phone because it's taken away from something else I could be doing. Like in my world, I have to make $500 an hour to keep my stuff going. I can't afford to stop what I'm doing because I have other people that I've delegated to, right? So what I've had to do is learn business boundaries. Everybody say the word boundary.
Boundary.
How many of us are good at boundaries? How many of us are good at boundaries? After you've been through some things, you learn to be good at boundaries, right? But that's so important because you have to have balance. Everybody say balance.
Balance.
Right? One of my favorite cars, I'll never forget one of the lawyers I worked for, he said, what's your favorite car? I probably said something crazy, a Lamborghini or Ferrari. And this lawyer, Willie Gary, he's a billionaire lawyer, a black man from Florida. He said, you should have chosen a John Deere tractor. I said, a tractor, Mr. Gary? He said, I put my John Deere tractor up against any of those Lamborghinis, Italian engineers, because I know my John Deere tractor will be there consistently for me after 50 years. So whether you're going 100 miles an hour the wrong way, my John Deere tractor is still going to be here 50 years later. So that's why it's important to know which car to drive in your process, right? So you can be there another 50 years later, which is why having boundaries and work-life balance is so important. So everybody say purpose. Everybody say people. And your processes. So in your businesses, in your home life, you want to figure out your routine, what gets you going every day, right? And you want to be consistent with it, right? Because every time you're consistent with something, you're building up stamina. Like no one sets out to run a marathon and run 23 miles. They don't start out with 23 miles. They have to build up stamina. So it's important for us to have that in our daily routine and our home routine so we can continue to do things. So in order to kind of bring this full circle, we've had our purpose, we've had our people, we've had our processes, right? And going back to our pretty smart goals, I'm a big believer on manifesting things and writing them down. So I want to share a little story with you guys, right? About finding your cart. I done spent all my budget, my money already here today, right? Before all the vendors here. How many of us, y'all know what Aldi's is? The store at Aldi's. And you know, to get a cart at Aldi's, you have to put the little quarter in there, right? So the other day I was at Aldi's and I knew I didn't have a quarter, didn't have any change. All I had was my wallet and my Apple Pay. And I said, God, let me just find a quarter on the ground. Let me figure something out. I don't want to beg for a quarter. I'm already at Aldi's. So instead of praying, I imagine myself finding a quarter on the ground. So I walk into the store. Someone's checking out, right? They leave their cart. I said, God, answer my prayers. Because I thought about it, said it, saw it, prayed about it, right? Do you know somebody came up right before and took the cart? Yes, they did. You know why? Because I hesitated. That was my cart. Somebody else that knew that was their cart took it while I hesitated. So I say that to say, when you know it's your cart and you know it's your calling, get up and get your cart. All right, I'm saying, thank you guys